12 years now I've worked as an accountant, running a small practice, 3 employees, tucked into a strip mall between a nail salon and a pizza joint. I handle taxes for local businesses, bookkeeping for startups, estate planning for retirees. Nothing flashy, just numbers, clean, honest, predictable numbers. That's the appeal of accounting to me. Numbers don't lie, don't carry hidden agendas. They simply are what they are. When something doesn't add up, that's a signal something's wrong. And when Brenda Zelli's numbers landed on my desk, they didn't just fail to add up, they screamed. That's how I uncovered that an Olympic champion was being systematically robbed by the one person she trusted above all others. Have you ever had to deliver a truth someone desperately didn't want to hear? Tell me in the comments. And if stories about courage, justice, and standing up to powerful people interest you, hit subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss what comes next. My assistant Kelly buzzed me on a Monday morning. Brian, your 10 o'clock is here. Who's my 10? Brenda Zelli. I looked up from my screen. The gymnast. Yeah, she needs help with her taxes. I'd certainly heard of Brenda Zelli. Everyone had. 2-time Olympic gold medalist, the face of multiple major brands, the rare athlete who transcends her sport entirely. Why would someone like that walk into my tiny firm? I headed to the reception area. A young woman sat there, mid-20s, athletic build, hair in a ponytail, sweats and sneakers, no makeup, looking entirely ordinary, nothing like someone worth millions. Miss Zelli, she stood. Please call me Brenda. You're Brian? Yes, come on back. We walked to my office. She sat across from my desk. So, I said, what brings you here? My friend Jenna recommended you. She said you're honest, thorough, that you actually explain things instead of just telling people to sign papers. I try. What do you need help with? My taxes. I've never actually done them myself. My coach handles everything. But this year, I don't know. I just want to understand what's happening, where my money's going. Is that weird? Not at all. It's smart. You should always understand your own finances. She relaxed slightly. Rob, my coach, he says I don't need to worry about it, that he'll handle everything. But I'm 24. I've been competing since I was 6. I should probably know what's going on with my own money, right? Absolutely. How long has your coach been managing your finances? Since the beginning, since I was 8. He discovered me at a local gym, trained me, guided my career, got me sponsorships. He's been like a father to me. Your real dad, he wasn't around much. I see. And you want me to review your financial situation? Yes, if that's okay. I know you usually do small businesses. I can handle it. Do you have documentation? Tax returns, bank statements, investment accounts? I have some stuff. Rob has most of it, but I can get you what I have. That's a start. Let's schedule a follow-up. You bring me everything you can. We'll go through it together. Thank you. Really. Rob's going to be mad that I'm doing this. But I need to know. That line stuck with me. Rob's going to be mad. Why would a coach object to his own athlete wanting to understand her own finances? Red flag number 1. Brenda returned with a box stuffed with papers, bank statements, contracts, endorsement deals, tax returns spanning 6 years, all signed by her, though she never actually read most of them. Rob always said I should focus on training. That business stuff would distract me. So I just signed what he told me to sign. That's common, but not ideal. Let's go through this. I spent 3 hours sorting, organizing, building a timeline. The numbers were strange. Her endorsement deals were public knowledge. Nike alone paid $3 million annually, plus Visa, Kellogg's, others, totaling roughly $15 million in annual income. But her bank accounts showed deposits considerably lower. Brenda, your Nike contract says they pay you $3 million annually, but your bank statements show deposits of only $2.1 million from Nike. Where's the other $900,000? She blinked. I don't know. Management fees. Let's look at your agreement with your coach. What percentage does he take? She pulled out a contract, a standard athlete-coach agreement. 15%. I read it aloud. So on $15 million, he'd take $2.025 million. That's reasonable for high-level management. Okay, so that's where some money goes, right? But Brenda, even accounting for that, the numbers don't match. Your net deposit should be around $12.75 million annually, but your statements show $8 million. She stared. Where's the other $4.75 million? That's what I need to figure out. I dug for 2 weeks. The deeper I went, the worse it got. Brenda's money was hemorrhaging from multiple sources. Rob wasn't taking 15%, he was taking 30%. The contract specified 15%, but buried in the paperwork, his invoices charged double that. Brenda was paying $50,000 monthly to Thornton Sport Consulting, LLC. I looked it up, registered to Robert Thornton, her coach, a shell company with no employees, no services rendered, just a funnel routing her money straight into his pocket, disguised as fake consulting fees. Rob had supposedly invested $2 million of her money in a real estate venture that subsequently failed, except the venture didn't exist anywhere in any record. No LLC, no property, nothing. The money had simply vanished. Brenda's accounts were also covering Rob's personal mortgage at $8,000 monthly, his Tesla payments at $1,200 monthly, his country club membership at $15,000 yearly, and vacations relabeled as training camps, all categorized as legitimate business expenses for tax purposes. I added it all up. Over 6 years, Rob had stolen roughly $8.3 million for Brenda. My hands were shaking by the time I finished the calculation. This wasn't sloppy management. This was theft, systematic, deliberate, criminal. I needed to tell her. Brenda came to my office, smiling. "Hey, Brian, how's it going?" I gestured to the chair. "Sit down. We need to talk." Her smile faded. "That sounds serious." "It is." I pulled out a folder, 3 inches thick, documentation, spreadsheets, timelines. "Brenda, I've been reviewing your finances, and I found discrepancies." "What kind of discrepancies?" "Large ones. Your coach has been taking more money than his contract specifies. He's charging you for fake consulting services. He's reporting investment losses that don't exist. And he's been paying his personal expenses from your accounts." She stared at me. "What?" "Over the past 6 years, I estimate he's taken approximately $8.3 million that wasn't authorized." "That's not." Rob wouldn't. "Brenda, I have documentation. Bank statements, invoices, tax filings. The numbers don't lie. There must be a mistake. Rob has been with me since I was 8. He's like my father. He wouldn't steal from me. I understand this is hard to hear. But look at this." I showed her the spreadsheet. "This column is what you should have earned. This column is what actually appeared in your accounts. The difference is $8.3 million. And it all traces back to transactions authorized by Rob." She was shaking her head. "No, you're wrong. You must have made a mistake. I triple-checked everything. Then the bank made mistakes. Or the sponsors. Or, Brenda, Rob wouldn't do this." Her voice cracked. "He gave up everything to train me. He believed in me when no one else did. He's not a thief. I know this is painful. You don't know anything. You've been my accountant for a month. Rob's been my coach for 16 years. I trust him. Then ask him about these transactions. Show him this." I pushed the folder toward her. "If there's an innocent explanation, great. But if there's not, there is. There has to be." She grabbed the folder, stood. "Thank you for your time, Mr. Stone, but I think I'll be finding a different accountant." She left. I sat alone in my office. I'd done my job, told her the truth, and she didn't want to hear it. Late that afternoon, I was finishing a tax return when my phone rang. Unknown number. "Brian Stone." "Mr. Stone, this is Robert Thornton, Brenda Zelli's coach." My stomach tightened. "How can I help you?" "You can mind your own business." "Excuse me." "Brenda, show me your little report, your accusations. Let me be very clear. You have no idea what you're talking about. The numbers don't lie, Mr. Thornton. The numbers are fine. You're just not smart enough to understand them. I understand theft when I see it." Silence. Then his voice went cold. "Mr. Stone, you're a small-time accountant with a small-time practice. Brenda is a world-class athlete with world-class representation. If you continue making these slanderous accusations, I will bury you in lawsuits. Do you understand? Are you threatening me? I'm warning you. Walk away, or you'll regret it." He hung up. I sat there, heart pounding. He'd threatened me, which meant I was right. If the numbers were innocent, he'd have simply explained them. Instead, he threatened me. I called Brenda. Voicemail. "Brenda, it's Brian Stone. Please call me back." Your coach just called. Threatened me. Which tells me I'm right. Please just look at the evidence. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to help. I hung up, wondering if she'd actually listen. Days later, a woman walked into my office, late 20s, athletic, confident. Mr. Stone, do you remember me? I am Jenna Torres. I'm the friend who recommended Brenda to you. Oh, Jenna. How is she? Confused. Upset. Rob's been in her ear constantly, telling her you're trying to sabotage her, that you're jealous, that you made up those numbers. They're not made up. I know. I've never trusted Rob. Something about him always felt off. But Brenda's loyal. To a fault. So she's not going to believe me. Not yet. But I might have something that helps. She pulled out her phone. Brenda and I have been friends since we were 15. We competed together before her career took off. About 2 years ago, we were talking. She mentioned Rob was investing her money in real estate. Some big development deal. She was excited. The deal that supposedly lost $2 million? Exactly. But here's the thing. She showed me a photo. She showed me a brochure for the development. I took a picture of it because it looked cool. Luxury condos. Beachfront. I recognized the name, Thornton Luxury Properties. Right. Rob's company. Except here's what I found. She pulled up a website on her phone. I searched for this development. It exists. It was built. It's fully sold. Very successful. So the investment didn't fail. No, it made money. A lot of money. But Brenda was told it failed. That her $2 million was lost. When it actually went into Rob's pocket. Exactly. I lean back. Jenna, this is evidence of fraud. We need to show Brenda. She won't listen to me either. She thinks I'm jealous of Rob's influence over her. We need something undeniable. Like what? Like more proof. More examples. A pattern she can't ignore. I'll keep digging, and I'll keep trying to get through to her. I hired a forensic accountant with fraud case experience, Mark Fox, a retired FBI financial crimes investigator, now consulting privately. I showed him everything. He spent 3 days going through Brenda's records. When he finished, he looked grim. This is worse than you thought. Ow! The $8.3 million you found? That's just what's easily traceable. There are layers here. Shell companies. Offshore accounts referenced in footnotes. If I had to guess, the real number is closer to $12 million. $12 million. At least. And it's been going on for years, since she was probably 16, 17, right when the big endorsement money started. How is he getting away with this? She trusts him. She doesn't question anything. And he's smart. He buries things in legitimate expenses. Makes it look like bad investments instead of theft. If you weren't looking closely, you'd miss it. I need to show her this. She won't want to believe it. People never do. Especially when it's someone they love. I have to try. Jenna called me. Brian, I have something. Can you meet me? We met at a coffee shop. She looked excited, nervous. What is it? I was going through old videos from competitions, social media posts, whatever. And I found this. She pulled up a video from 3 years ago, Brenda at a press conference after winning Olympic gold. A reporter had asked, Brenda, what are you going to do with your prize money and endorsements? Brenda laughed. Honestly, I have no idea. Rob handles all that. I just focus on training. He makes sure I'm taken care of. Rob stood behind her, smiling proudly. Jenna paused the video. Look at his face. I looked. Rob's smile didn't reach his eyes. It looked calculating. Now watch this. She showed me another video, same event, different angle, backstage, Rob on his phone. Audio was faint, but I caught it to sign another deal. She has no idea how much. I'll move it through the usual channels. Jenna stopped the video. The usual channels. He's been doing this for years, systematically. Can I have copies of these? Already sent to your email. I was leaving my office around 7 p.m., the parking lot mostly empty. A black SUV pulled up, tinted windows. 2 men got out, large, intimidating. Brian Stone, who's asking? We have a message from Mr. Thornton. Drop this. Stop harassing his client, or there will be consequences. Are you threatening me? We're delivering a message. Tell Mr. Thornton I'm not intimidated. One of them stepped closer. You should be. I'm an accountant. I follow numbers. And the numbers say your boss is a thief. Last warning. They climbed back in the SUV and drove off. I stood there shaking, Not from fear, from anger. Rob was escalating, which meant he was desperate, which meant I was getting close. Brenda finally called. Brian, can we meet? Of course. When? Now, I'm outside your office. I looked out the window. She was sitting in her car alone. Come. She walked in looking exhausted, eyes red. I've been thinking about what you said about the numbers, and I try to ask Rob about some things. The consulting fees. The real estate investment. What did he say? He got angry. Really angry. Said I was questioning his loyalty. That after everything he's done for me, I don't trust him. He made me feel terrible. That's manipulation, Brenda. I know. I think I've always known. But I didn't want to see it. She sat down. Show me everything. I did, spending 2 hours walking her through every transaction, every discrepancy, every theft. She cried quietly, wiping tears with the back of her hand. 16 years, she whispered. He's been stealing from me for 16 years. I'm sorry. I trusted him. I loved him. He was like my father. I know. What do? We go to the police. We file a civil suit. We get your money back. He'll destroy me. He knows everything about my career, my sponsors, my reputation. He's already destroying you, financially, emotionally. This ends now. She looked at me. Will you help me? I don't know how to do this. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for not giving up, even when I didn't want to hear it. That's my job. Numbers don't lie, and neither should the people who interpret them. Eventually, Brenda decided to confront Rob directly, with me there as witness. We met at his office, an upscale building, fancy furniture, all paid for with Brenda's money. Rob looked surprised to see me. What's he doing here? He's my accountant, Brenda said, voice steady, and I have questions. Brenda, we've been through this. Where's my money, Rob? Excuse me. The $8.3 million, actually more like $12 million, that you've stolen from me over the past years. Where is it? His face hardened. I don't know what lies he's been telling you. The numbers tell the story, I said. Inflated management fees, fake consulting companies, fraudulent investment losses, personal expenses charged to her accounts. I have documentation of everything. You're talking about things you don't understand. Understand theft. Get out of my office. Not until you answer the question, Brenda said. Where's my money? I invested it. I managed your career. Do you know how many hours I've put into making you a star? You didn't make me anything. I worked, I trained, I competed. You took credit and money. After everything I've done, you stole from me. If you thought your compensation wasn't enough, you should have talked to me. We would raise your percentage. I would agree to anything you asked me. But instead, you got it behind my back. Her voice broke. I trusted you. I loved you. And you stole from me. Rob's expression shifted from anger to something colder. You'll never prove it. I already have, I said. Bank statements, tax records, shell company registrations, video evidence of you admitting to moving money through usual channels. We have everything. If you go to the police, I'll destroy you, Rob said to Brenda. I know things. Sponsors I can call. Stories I can tell. Your career will be over. My career is my career, Brenda said. Not yours. And I'd rather lose everything than let you keep stealing. She turned to leave. I followed. Rob called after us. You'll regret this. Brenda didn't look back. We filed a police report, fraud, embezzlement, theft. We filed a civil lawsuit seeking return of the stolen funds plus damages. Brenda's agent, Lisa, helped her release a public statement. I recently discovered that my longtime coach, Robert Thornton, has been stealing from me for years. With the help of my accountant, Brian Stone, I've uncovered evidence of systematic financial abuse. I'm pursuing criminal and civil action. I'm speaking out because I know I'm not the only athlete this has happened to. We need to protect young athletes from exploitation. The story exploded. News outlets picked it up immediately. Olympic champion robbed by trusted coach. Other athletes began coming forward. He managed my finances too. I always wondered where the money went. The FBI opened an investigation. Rob's lawyer released a statement denying everything, but the evidence was overwhelming. 2 months later, Rob was arrested, charged with multiple counts of fraud, embezzlement, and money laundering, bail set at $2 million. He couldn't make it, sat in jail awaiting trial. Brenda watched the news coverage in my office. I still can't believe this is happening. Justice is happening. It's heartbreaking to see him in jail, to know what he did. But I keep thinking, what if you hadn't noticed? What if I never asked questions? But you did. That took courage. I almost didn't. I almost fired you and pretended everything was fine. But you didn't. You chose truth over comfort. That's harder than any gymnastics routine. She smiled small, sad. Thank you, Brian. Really, you saved me. I just read the numbers. You save yourself by listening. Rob's lawyer reached out. My client would like to settle. Avoid trial. Vamet. Rob looked different, smaller, defeated. His lawyer presented an offer. Mr. Thornton will return $7 million in exchange. Ms. Zelli drops the criminal charges. $7 million, I said. He stole 12. And we're not dropping criminal charges. The state is prosecuting. That's not ours to drop. He doesn't have 12 million liquid. 7 is what's accessible. I looked at Brenda. She nodded. Fine. 7 million returned. But he pleads guilty to the criminal charges. Accepts responsibility publicly. Rob's lawyer hesitated, whispered with Rob. Finally, agreed. Days later, Rob stood in court, entered a guilty plea. The judge asked, Mr. Thornton, do you understand you're pleading guilty to defrauding Ms. Zelli of millions of dollars? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have anything to say? Rob looked at Brenda. I'm sorry. I know that's not enough. I took advantage of your trust. I told myself I deserved the money, that I'd made you who you are. But that was a lie. You made yourself. I'm sorry. Brenda said nothing, just stared at him. Sentencing, 6 years in federal prison, restitution of $7 million, permanent ban from managing athletes. He was led away in handcuffs. Brenda exhaled. It's over. Jenna embraced her, both of them crying. A week later, Brenda called me. Brian, can we meet? We met at her house, a nice place, but not extravagant. She'd always been surprisingly down to earth. I wanted to talk to you about something. You've been helping me recover the money, organizing my finances, making sure everything's accounted for. That's my job. I want to hire you, full-time, as my CFO, Chief Financial Officer. I need someone I trust managing my money. You stood up to threats. You fought for me when I didn't even believe you. You're exactly who I need. What about my firm? Keep it. Run both. Or hire someone to manage it. I'll pay you enough that money won't be an issue. I thought about it. What's the salary? $250,000 a year, plus bonuses. I nearly choked. That was 5 times what I currently made. That's generous. You saved me $7 million. You're worth it. Okay, yes, I'll do it. She smiled. Good. Because I have another project. I want to start a foundation. Financial literacy for young athletes. Teaching them to understand contracts. Protect themselves. Make sure what happened to me doesn't happen to them. That's a great idea. I want you to run it with me. We'll call it, I don't know, something about protection, empowerment. The Zelli Foundation for Athlete Financial Protection. Perfect. You're already earning your salary. 1 year later, the foundation was thriving. We'd educated over 500 young athletes, provided free financial reviews, connected them with trusted accountants and lawyers. I'd hired 2 more accountants for my firm, expanded our reach. We now specialize in athlete financial management. My reputation had grown. The accountant who took down Robert Thornton. I didn't love the attention, but I loved the work. One afternoon, a young gymnast came to my office, 16 years old, nervous. My mom said I should talk to you first. Smart mom. Let's talk about what to look for, what questions to ask, how to protect yourself. We spent an hour going through the basics. She left with resources, knowledge, power. That's what I did now. Gave athletes power over their own financial futures. Some years have passed. I still run Stone & Associates Accounting, but now we have 12 employees, 2 offices. We're considered specialists in sports financial management. I'm the CFO of Brenda Zelli's business empire. Brenda has retired from competition, focused now on coaching and advocacy. All her money is accounted for, invested wisely, protected. She'll never be vulnerable again. She'll never need someone else with the courage to say she's being robbed. Have you ever discovered something wrong and had to decide whether to speak up? Which moment hit hardest? When Brian discovered the theft, when Brenda initially refused to believe him, when Rob was arrested, or when Brenda started the foundation. Share your thoughts, your experiences with speaking truth to power in the comments below. If this story about courage, financial justice, and protecting the vulnerable moved you, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about standing up to powerful people, exposing fraud, and refusing to stay silent when something's wrong. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss our next story.